It's fine. It's fine the way it is. It doesn't close very well. Huh? Wait, can you use this? Is that what you're asking?
Can we use them?
Yeah. Yeah, folks in my last period sat in there yesterday. Patience, patience, young Padawan. Let me get attendance done, and then we'll deal with what we're doing. Okay, we've got Ian in person, Corey in person, Christian virtually, Brendan virtually, Hayward virtually, Troy in person, Eli nowhere. I should go ahead and mark him tardy because he's tardy every day. Nate virtually.
Yeah.
Chip virtually. Sterling virtually.
Hello.
And Ondarius. I'm just gonna leave it for like just a minute and see if Eli gets in here. How's everybody virtually, in person? Everyone's good?
Yeah, it's been pretty good, I guess.
Okay, I was actually just relieved to hear somebody talk because I wasn't sure that my computer was working. But now I know we're good. You guys are just being quiet today. Okay. Let me get to our canvas. Bring it over there. In fact, I'm just gonna pin that tab. Okay, so today we are gonna start looking at the Canterbury Tales. I think I mentioned yesterday, we're only really looking at the prologue, which is really long, but today we're gonna look at like the prologue to the prologue. But the first thing we're gonna do, actually, you know what? I haven't turned this screen on. I gotta get used to doing everything. No, I don't. What am I doing? No, I don't want any of that. Jesus.
The Wi-Fi was like.
Yeah, I heard Mr. Nykirk say that it, like the internet went down for a minute, which is why there wasn't any bells between classes. Because I guess they are managed through the internet. Here comes Eli. I knew it. I did hear Miss Cathan say that she got kicked off her Zoom like 3 times. What a pain. Like it's
Yeah, that was happening last period for us too.
Oh, Hayward, you said Christian just said, Miss McClellan, you should force Hayward to vote because he said his vote doesn't count.
I did register to vote. You need to mind your business, Christian.
You did register?
Yeah.
Yay, good. Andreas thinks it doesn't either. I think our whole system is not great. And we all know that our electorate or whatever, our people in the electoral college, they actually determine it. But I mean, your vote doesn't not count. If nobody votes because they think that their vote doesn't count, then there's no election, basically. Like, we all have to.
Well, guess what?
What?
People who did that also say the same thing. So, you know what I mean? People that actually don't vote will be minority. People actually vote. People say that.
People who actually, wait, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
The people people say won't vote, we told the same thing. We told the same thing. But some people who actually will not vote will will actually allocate more. Will actually allocate more. Will be minority.
Oh,
Who will.
and people who do vote would be a majority. I mean, that's you want everybody to vote, ideally, but not everyone does. I didn't for a long time, but that was just me being dumb. It wasn't because I thought my vote didn't count.
I also heard that I think they only, like, for the most part, they count most of the votes on the first voting day or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like this year is going to be really weird because so many people are voting by mail or like voting absentee. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't actually know the results for like days and days and days, maybe a week. Were you going to say something else? I thought you were about to say something else. I would encourage you to vote, even if you think that your vote doesn't count. Because if everybody thought that, then we wouldn't vote, and we wouldn't, like, everything would be up to other people. I'd rather have my one vote. And I actually feel like this year it kind of counts more just because I feel like it's such a tight race. Like every poll that you see, they're kind of like neck and neck. So I feel like I do not understand what y'all are even talking about in the chat, which is probably for the best, but I don't understand.
Who knows? Your vote could actually change.
Yeah, it could be the one that sways it. You never know. Okay. Let me see if I can AirPlay. I should be able to, but it kept like kicking me off yesterday. Okay, cool. I at least want you guys to be able to see what we're doing, and then eventually I will possibly share my screen. But today I will actually share my screen, but give me just a minute here. Okay. Oh, you can't minimize when you're recording. Your stuff's not connecting? Oh. How weird. Yeah. What the heck? I mean, is your computer frozen up? Or is it just, huh? It's just the website being difficult. Okay. When is the vice presidential debate? Tomorrow night at 9. I think that one will be a lot of fun to watch. The presidential debate was really stressful and horrible, but I kind of think that the vice presidential would be sort of fun. I don't think it will be. I think there'll be a clear winner for that. Okay, so I told you guys we were going to listen to some Middle English, and we are. We're dealing with like the prologue to the prologue today. We're going to get pretty in depth into it. But first, I want to just play it for you. Like, I'll share my screen so you can see the words on the screen, but they're reading it in Middle English. And it's super weird. But I want you to try and see if you can sort of predict what they're talking about. Oh, wow, this just pops right into Canvas. I love that. That's my bedtime too, but it's supposed to last an hour and a half and no longer. I can stay up till 10:30. I'll be all right. Even though I'm an elderly woman. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let's see if this works. It's like embedded into Canvas. Is it gonna work? Yes, but I don't think y'all can hear that. I'll turn it up as far as it'll go.
and bothered every vine in which the food, thereto engendered is the bloom.
Can you guys hear that? You virtual folks, can you hear it?
Barely.
Barely. Okay. I'm going to try to turn it up really loud on the screen and see if that's helpful. I'm probably going to regret that actually. It's going to be like really loud. Ooh, trial and error. Okay, let's try it again.
One that April with a shore and sword, the draft of March, hath passed it to the road, and bothered every vine in which the food, of which thereto engendered is the bloom. One separate egg with the sweat of breath, in spirit hath in every heart and head the tender croppets, and the young son hath in the ram his half course hereon, and smaller falleth market melody, that slepen out the night with open ear, so triggers him nature and here courage, than longing hope to go on pilgrimage. And Thomas forsaken strongest rundes, to fena howes, who in sombre Londres, and specially from every sheerest end of England to Canterbury thy wind, the holy blissful martyr forsaken, that him hath holpen when that thy will take.
Okay, so that's obviously like pretty strange sounding. It should be confusing. It's weird because you can tell that it's kind of English. It kind of sounds like somebody who is doing an impression of what they think English sounds like, but it's not easy to understand. It's not easy for us to comprehend. And that's fine. It shouldn't be, but I'm going to have you guys do a little fun thing. I think it'll be fun, but also maybe a little confusing. Let's see, where are we? Well, first of all, yes, okay, this is what I want. Okay, this is what I'm gonna have you guys work on for a little bit. This is the prologue in Middle English, and this is just on, I can't remember if I did this on discussion board or, yes, discussion board. There's no right or wrong answer to this. I mean, there is a right answer, but I don't expect anyone to get this perfectly. It would be insane if you did. But I want you to kind of take this prologue line by line and try to figure out what it's saying. Just do your best. You're not being graded on how correct it is, but look at the words and see like which ones are similar to words we know now, and what can you use like from context clues to try to figure it out. So like I said, this is not being graded for how correct you are, because it would be wild if you were just like a natural at speaking Middle English. But when you do your replies here, you can just kind of take it line by line, like that first sentence or like that first word, when, probably when, like it's close enough to when that you can figure that out. And just take it a little bit at a time and try to figure it out. If there's a line that you have no idea what this is trying to say, then just leave it blank or like put some dashes in it or something, but just try to get as much as you can. I'm going to give you guys probably like 15-20 minutes because it does take a lot of thought to do this. And then we're going to look at some of your answers and we're going to look at what it actually means. So you've got a few minutes to work on this. Does that make sense what I'm asking you to do? Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But and I'm going to turn off my video, but just let me know if you have questions while you're working on this. And just write it in the discussion posts.
Ms. McClellan.
Yes.
Mr. Washington never responded to my email, so Mr. Nelson is working on getting me that password.
Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
For Canvas.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Guys, don't worry about it if you are totally lost. I'd rather you try to like figure it out just using your own brains than look stuff up, because we are going to look at what it all means afterwards. And like I said, you're not going to be counted off or anything if you leave some stuff blank. I recognize that a lot of this doesn't make a whole lot of sense because we don't speak this form of English anymore. So try your best to do it on your own.
don't see it.
You say you don't see it?
I don't.
Okay. Hang on, let me share my screen with you for a minute so you can see where it is. I'm sharing desktop too. Okay. Well, I'm trying anyway. Oh my gosh, what? I'm trying to show you guys. This is being really dumb. Come on. Oh. I don't know why that's just not connecting. But okay, so if you go to Canvas, which I would love to personally. Where's my Canvas? There we go. In this week's module, it should be one before last. It says Canterbury Tales Prologue, and it's in the discussion board.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you guys about 5 more minutes to work on this, and then we'll go over it together. Yeah, if you guys don't get to the end, don't worry about it too much. As long as you've been trying, you'll be okay. Like I said, I'm not grading based on how correct you are. I know. And for some reason, this is not letting me share my screen with you guys. Or if it is for like a second. But you wouldn't be able to turn it in anyway. See now, it's okay. Pain. You okay, Troy? Ew. There we go. Me too, man.
So we don't have to type nothing. We just have to like decode it basically.
Yeah, you're basically just decoding it. That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the discussion boards, you can type up whatever you're thinking about it, just like line by line. But
Okay.
only going to give you guys another couple minutes. And like I said, don't worry if you didn't get through the whole thing.
Okay. She wants to type it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is this not working? Okay, start turning in what you have, just submitting it on that discussion board. And what we're gonna do, I've just published general prologue translation. Actually, I'm just rearranging a couple things. And we're gonna take a look at what it actually means. Why did I do this on my page and not on your page? Okay, so let's take a little closer look at it. And I've actually got it up on mine as well. Let's see if this will work to share my screen with you. It kicked me off a minute ago, or it kicked me off of being able to share. Okay, so this first line, and also this translation might be like ever so slightly different than the one that we just looked at, but it'll be fine. A word that might have stuck out was, I mean, I think the way they pronounced it was like April or something. It sounds so nuts when you read it, like when that April with the shore suta. It's just like, it sounds like you're speaking some kind of Scandinavian language. But that's, you know, it's just what we used to sound like. So looking at it line by line, when April with its sweet smelling showers, now April we could probably get, showers maybe. I would not have ever anticipated that that word meant sweet smelling, but there we go. Has pierced the draft of March to the root. Now you can see several words that look similar that you might have been able to get. I mean, draft looks kind of different, but some of you might have gotten that. March, pierced, root. And bathed every vein in such liquid. At least the bathed every vein looks similar. Switch liqueur does not, but that's fine. This you'll see different translations of, because you can just take virtue and say virtue instead of power, of which virtue, the flower, is created, engendered. And engendered is like a modern English word. I don't really use it a whole lot, but engendered is a word. I can see why this one might have tripped you guys up if you have no idea what this Z word is, Zephyrus. Like in old stories and in like certain mythology, the different winds have different names, and one of them is called Zephyr or Zephyrus. I don't, like the north wind or the south wind or whatever. And that's a thing that people just used to know. Oh, the west wind, clearly. Also with his sweet breath, sweet breath. In every wooden field has breathed life into. We probably would not know Holt and Heath. Wood and field, and it's not really similar at all. The tender crops, new leaves, and the young sun, sort of similar. This one could be confusing for sure. Hath in the ram, they're talking about Aries, because Aries is the sign of the ram. His half course run. I don't know how we would have pronounced that, but it's just run. And small fowls make melody. That one's pretty similar. It's just got like a bunch of extra E's in it, to be honest. That sleep all the night with open eyes. This one is a little bit weird. So pricketh him, and it means like prick, incites, like inspires or like bothers you into doing something in their hearts. And we might have seen that, like some of you might have put courage for that, and I think that that is totally fine, and those two are related anyway, so it's fine. Here's like a little weird little syntax thing, which like other languages do this, but we don't necessarily do it. in English, they kind of like reverse the subject and verb. And you can see that here in line 12, because it said like then longen folk, but it means then folk long to go on pilgrimages. That was probably an easy word for you guys because that is almost the exact same and it's one of our vocabulary words. This one's definitely weird. I wouldn't have expected anyone to get this line, but professional pilgrims to seek foreign shores. And when we're talking about pilgrims, we're not talking about like Thanksgiving pilgrims. We're talking about like people going on pilgrimages to distant shrines known in various, sundry. There's another vocabulary word. Sundry lands, and especially from every shire's end. That one's very close. Of England to Canterbury, they went or traveled to seek the holy blessed martyr. We'll talk a bit more about who the martyr is and like why they're going and everything. But y'all, I'll explain that in a minute. Who helped them when they were sick. Hath holpen when they were sick. So let's just read like the more modern translation. So maybe we can get like some kind of idea of what they're actually talking about. When April with its sweet smelling showers has pierced the draught of March to the root. I guess it's drought, not draft. They're spelled the same though. And bathed every vein in such liquid by which power the flower is created. So we're talking about like changing of the seasons, coming into springtime. When the west wind also with its sweet breath in every wood and field has breathed life into the tender new leaves, and the young sun has run half its course in Aries, and small fowls make melody, those that sleep all the night with open eyes, so nature incites them in their hearts, then folk long to go on pilgrimages. So all of this is basically like creating the idea of spring and like new life and everything. And they're saying like when all these things happen, indicating springtime, that makes people want to go on pilgrimages. And professional pilgrims to seek foreign shores to distant shrines known in various lands. And especially from every shire's end of England to Canterbury, they traveled to seek the holy blessed martyr who helped them when they were sick. So this just kind of sets up what this whole story is about, more or less. Don't worry if you got none of it right. It's okay. I mean, it's very complicated. And this is just sort of more than like trying to get you to understand these words. Like this is not a Middle English course. In fact, like after this, we'll move on from Middle English and deal with a little bit more like understandable stuff. I mean, Shakespeare is coming up. Y'all have read him before. He's a lot easier to understand than this. He uses our same words, even if he doesn't use them in exactly the same way we would. Yes, I like that enthusiasm. But this whole thing is basically saying like these people are getting ready to go on a pilgrimage. They're particularly going to this shrine of the holy blessed martyr, and that is in Canterbury. So all these people are going together to Canterbury, and that kind of sets up our story, because that's the whole plot basically, is that like all these people are going on a religious pilgrimage to Canterbury together, people from all social, what's the word I'm looking for? Like social strata, social whatever. I don't know why, like there's a word that's just like escaping my brain. Social circles, social hierarchy. But they're all going together for this same purpose. And as they go, they're going to like share their stories together. Everybody has their own sort of like backstory. And like I mentioned, we didn't quite finish the notes today. And we'll probably actually do that on Thursday rather than tomorrow. But you will find out more about the Holy Blessed Martyr and like why they feel the need to go to Canterbury to like pay respects. here's the plan. First of all, your cultural hero stories are due today at midnight. So don't forget about that. If you run into an issue where you're unable to submit it on Canvas, I would rather you email it to me than not turn it in, but try to submit it on Canvas. I think I made it so that you should be able to just upload your stuff on Canvas rather than like typing it into the text box. And hopefully that will work out and be fine. But we'll see. And I know that like a couple of you had problems with Canvas, which is why I said like, if it doesn't work on Canvas, just try to email it to me or share it with me if you're doing it on Google Doc. So Wednesday, since Wednesday is our all virtual day in every class, what I'm going to attempt to do is hold like a short class and kind of like give you guys instructions for what you're doing and then like release you more or less. What? Yes.
So after Monday, Tuesday, that's for me.
Yeah, that's it for you for the week. I mean, like you'll sign into Zoom.
And Wednesday, Friday is the only days in North Wilmington.
Just Wednesdays.
Or Friday.
Thursday and Friday, the other group will be coming in if your last name starts with a K through Z. So in this class, I think on Thursdays and Fridays, I should have Nate and Chip, if I'm not mistaken. And then Wednesdays, I don't have anyone. You're right. Canvas doesn't like the students and it doesn't like the teachers either. So what I'll do is try to hold a short class and give you guys instructions for the day and then kind of turn you loose. And tomorrow what you're going to be doing is a web quest. So you have the whole of the internet at your disposal to help you, but it's some background stuff on Chaucer and the Middle Ages, and stuff that will help you understand the context of the Canterbury Tales a lot better. So I'll show you that tomorrow when we sign in, when I take attendance, and then I'll probably kind of leave you on your own. I mean, I'll stay signed in if you need me, but Wednesdays will be more of an independent day. That's my plan. Any questions before we go? We've only got a couple minutes till the bell. Okay. Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah. You're trying. I know you are. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow then. Bye.